Okay, now I will react to this video. What's good, ladies and gentlemen? So I said I did a reaction to Lobo versus Ghost Rider, and I said I'll react to the Ghost Rider versus Spawn video, but that Death Battle just made it, and when I react to stuff, I like to let the creators have time for people to go to their channel to watch it before they watch anybody else. That's just me. So if I react to something, it's usually 24 to 48 hours after the video has been released. Just in fairness, that's a habit I like to create. So when I do get bigger, you know, to still keep that habit going on, because I know some creators hate the fact that they could have gotten more traction on their video, but because of a different, bigger YouTuber came out, they reacted to their video less than 24 hours before the video was released, they didn't get as much traction on their own created content. So I don't think that's fair personally. So I want to create a habit even now. I know I'm not nowhere like big like those big YouTubers, but I like to create that habit now for when I do get there, I keep it going like that. Just out of respect for people of Death Battle and any other creator I react to. Anyway, now I'll watch Ghost Rider versus Spawn. And I avoided reading comics because I really wanted to check it out to see before I watched this video who would win. I wanted more of a breakdown of each character, but I said no, I'm actually going to come in here surprised. I will say, according to what I know, which can be right or wrong, because I love both, I don't think the Death Rider stare, or, you know, when he says look into my eyes, I don't think that will work on Spawn. This actually, thinking about it, this could be a never-ending battle. You know, they both in a way sort of came out of the same situation. They got into the same situation. Their powers came from the same place and stuff like that. So I don't know. There is I forgot what it's called, but Spawn does have this, I forgot what it's called, but it's like this heavenly figure, this transformation. I remember that in the comic. I can't remember the breakdown of it. Maybe that's more powerful than Ghost Rider's most powerful transformation. I don't know. I'm just going to say, based off of what I believe that the stare Ghost Rider has will not stop Spawn, I'm going to vote for Spawn in this one. I could be wrong, like I always say, but I'm going to vote for Spawn, and I avoided researching, because I like to research stuff like this, but I avoid it just so I can be surprised here. Maybe Ghost Rider win, maybe Spawn will win, who knows. I'll put the original video in the description below, but yeah, I love them both regardless. But let's see here. Shout out to Death Battle and make sure I give it a like now. Let's do this.
Ghost Rider versus Spawn.
The Spirit of Vengeance versus the Dark Angel of Armageddon.
He's Wiz.
I love the Spawn TV show.
It's our job to analyze their weapons.
That was ahead of its time.
Find out who would win a death battle.
They should make a live action movie of Spawn. Just do it right.
Blaze has always been a man possessed, chasing the thrill of certain doom by performing death-defying stunts, following the example of his adoptive father, Crash Simpson.
Until the day Crash lived up to his name and got cancer. Heartbroken and without enough Wampa fruit to save him, Johnny turned to the only thing that could. Chemotherapy.
The devil.
Oh!
To cure Crash's cancer, Johnny sold his soul to Mephisto, king of the 8th layer of hell.
I wonder if the MCU movie's gonna ever introduce Mephisto in a bigger light. You know what I'm saying?
Johnny's soul, Mephisto had something else in mind. He bound Johnny
in the comics,
to an
he's a
instrument
huge
of
deal.
divine wrath, Zarathos, the spirit of vengeance.
So Johnny Blaze lived up to his name and burst into hellfire. An undead skeleton biker with a sick-ass hug. The 5th scariest Nick Cage performance. The stuntman from hell. He called himself the Daredevil.
Sorry, Johnny, that name's taken.
I was like, wait, he did?
I
was like, was that his first name? I didn't know that, but no.
Definitely didn't forget that we named a character the same thing only 5 years earlier. All you.
The Ghost Rider was bad news for Earth's sinners and scumbags. He's strong enough to pull down skyscrapers, blow up mountains, and cause earthquakes that can be felt across
when is
whole
Ghost Rider
countries.
going to be introduced to the MCU?
He can
That's
remake
another
his whole
one.
body from the hellfire that engulfs him, making him immune to
I would
all
love a
physical
Midnight
damage.
Suns movie.
Only holy weapons that target his soul can harm him.
It's not just his body, his whole arsenal is hellfire. Ghosty can create anything he can think of.
What game
from
was
an
that?
infinite
Ghost Rider had his own
chain,
game? I didn't know that.
shotgun packed with fiery rounds, or a flaming missile barfed right out of his mouth. Life goals.
And he can imbue other objects with hellfire, such as his Hell Cycle.
Oh, this badass bike can outpace Thor's hammer Mjolnir, which can cross the universe in seconds.
Hellfire is a weapon in and of itself, whether shot out of his hands, raining down from the sky, or released from his...
His boner, Wiz. Get it? And it doesn't just
I thought
scorch
Nicolas
flesh.
Cage did a good
Hellfire
job.
is so deadly, it can burn away your very soul.
This technique would be mastered by Johnny's successor, his own brother, Danny Ketch.
Oh yeah, Johnny's not the only Ghost Rider, and Danny was the first to master their most famous move. You know, the one that burns your soul to smithereens with just a look, the Penance Stare.
The Penance Stare inflicts upon its
Yeah, I don't know if
victims
that's gonna
every ounce of pain
do anything
they
to
ever
Spawn.
wreaked upon
I guess we'll
others.
find out.
Every cruelty, no matter how small or righteous,
I mean,
is
yeah, it worked on
reflected
Galactus,
back
but Spawn's a
in
different kind of being.
biblical punishment.
Obliterating your soul. It even works on other Ghost Riders, like when Johnny and Danny got into a staring contest and Danny actually depowered
Wow, I
Johnny.
didn't know it works
Eyes
on other
are
ghosts.
windows
Oh,
to
wow.
the soul, so the Ghost Rider must be able to match his victim's gaze for the Penance Stare to work. Some people have survived it, like the Punisher, supposedly because he didn't regret his actions. It did work on
Of
him
course,
on
the
other
Punisher
occasions.
will survive it.
Johnny can adjust how deadly it is, and it doesn't necessarily have to kill you. He can use the stare to read minds, force you to confess.
Well, I didn't know it worked
or
on other
just
Ghost
join
Riders, so
the
maybe it
error
will
of
work
your
on
ways.
Spawn.
Remember, the Ghost Rider is two souls in one body, with the kinder Johnny battling the demon Zarathos in a war of control.
Classic Faustian bargain. All the power in the world, but if you want it, it uses you. Because if Johnny gives in, the demon's full might will take over, and then everything is screwed.
Zarathos' strength is boundless. He can open up portals between dimensions, control the elements, Penance Stare an entire city, and fly all the way to Asgard, which is a literal infinite distance away.
Wow.
He's manhandled some of Marvel's heaviest hitters, like Thor, World War Hulk, and Doctor Strange. Hell, Strange said Zarathos is a threat to all realms, mortal and immortal.
Hyperbole? Think again. The Archangel Zadkiel said that the power of the Ghost Rider could threaten all of existence, and even bring down heaven itself.
Right before an army of Ghost Riders did just that. Yeah, an army. The spirits of vengeance are legion.
As far back as the Great Flood, humans have been bonded to the vestiges of God's power to act as his divine wrath on Earth. A sort of heavenly Black Ops.
Okay, wait, does that make Zarathos an angel now? Or is he still a demon?
Both? Neither? Despite being one of the greatest entities in existence, it's unclear. What we do know is that ages ago, Zarathos feasted on souls and battled Mephisto for rulership of his realm. Mephisto, ever the trickster, claimed victory and gained control of Zarathos forevermore. Hence how he could bond him to Johnny.
But Zarathos got his revenge against that big red bitch with another Ghost Rider, Alejandra Jones. Bet you wish you had one more day to fix that hole in your chest, huh?
Comic book fan punching bag though he may be, Mephisto is unbelievably powerful. A
Yeah.
battle with him could cause omniversal Armageddon. Fitting as his fight with Galactus rents the cosmos asunder.
And Galactus' fights can destroy all of Marvel's infinite multiverse.
I heard in Agatha, I never watched the show, but I heard Mephisto was introduced in a small way on there.
Annihilation.
But I hope he
it was
gets
no
a bigger
surprise when
spotlight.
Johnny went down to the underworld and
I remember in the
took
comics,
Hell's
Mephisto
throne
was a
for
problem.
himself.
He was a punching
Usurping
bag,
the
but he also
devil
was a
that
problem.
ruined his life and finally grabbing destiny by the handlebars.
Scoring the total power
Him,
of hell
Dr. Doom,
itself,
Kang,
plus a
Galactus.
sick-ass upgrade, the damnation stare.
Thanos, but we already had
Skips the whole
Thanos.
Every pain you've ever inflicted thing and just sends you straight to hell. No shot.
As they say though, uneasy lies the head that wears the crown. Johnny began an obsessive crusade to capture all of Hell's escaped demons. But by using his new power to damn them to hell, he began absorbing their evil, feeding off of it, and it corrupted him. Once again, Johnny Blaze was a man possessed.
In truth, Johnny was just as trapped by hell's power as as he'd always been, and he needed Danny's help to pull him out of the darkness.
Though he gave up Hell's throne, the Ghost Rider continues his war against demons without and within, mentoring his fellow Ghost Riders in the ways of vengeance, always prowling the highways for the evil and the profane.
An unstoppable engine of judgment that, with just a glance, could make Galactus himself shit his pants.
Maybe one day he'll find salvation in the eyes of one of his victims.
'Cause they sure as hell won't find any in his.
All right, let's see Spawn.
This battle is sponsored by Robin Hood Gold.
With Robin Hood Gold, you can...
If Al Simmons was one thing, he was a killer.
A lieutenant colonel in the U.S. Army and the CIA's most decorated assassin, Simmons upheld democracy around the globe at the barrel of a gun, painting the third world in red, white, and blue, but mostly red.
Until his final fateful mission when, per his boss's orders, Al was fired.
The burning was only getting started because Al's immortal soul was on a one-way trip to hell.
Where he cut a deal with Malvosia, the big, naked lord of the 8th Circle of Hell.
By their pact, Simmons would be reborn a Hellspawn, a superpowered commander of Hell's armies, in exchange for seeing his wife one more time.
Oh, buddy, you're just asking to get monkey's pawed.
Al Simmons returned from the dead as a decaying zombie 5 years later, after his wife had already remarried and had a daughter.
There, you saw her. Now get back to work, bitch.
Thus was born the undead warrior from hell itself.
I ain't gonna front.
He's so
I would rather
nice
take
that
Ghost
he
Rider
comes all the way
situation
back
than
around to
Spawn.
being the
At
coolest
least
thing
Ghost Rider
ever.
can still
Look
turn to his
upon
human
his
form.
edge wizard and despair.
Spawn would violently defend New York's downtrodden, while slowly uncovering the full breadth of his demonic powers.
He's like a walking superpower encyclopedia.
He's one of the best
He
guest
can
characters
fly,
in Mortal
teleport,
Kombat.
turn invisible and intangible, move things with
They
his
did a
mind,
really good
make
job of him
force
on
fields,
there.
Control the elements and the weather.
To be
and
real, I
even
wish he was in
stop
MK1
time,
more than
waiting
MK11. He would have
time.
had more
He can
moves
fly
in his
so
set.
fast, he literally breaks into other dimensions and smashes time as a concept.
He can manipulate matter, shape-shifting his own body or transmuting other objects and people. He can even control and absorb your soul.
Wait, Wiz, if he can rearrange molecules and crap, why doesn't he just fix his uggo face?
Well, he tried to do that, but Malvosia cursed him so that he could only make himself... yeah.
It's petty trolling like that that gets
Okay.
you thrown in hell.
To be fair, Spawn can achieve a similar result with illusions and mental manipulation. He can read and control minds, implant and replace memories, or simply drive you mad.
Spawn can do all of this crazy shit because he runs on necroplasm. Basically, hell juice.
You're not wrong. Necroplasm is the energy that makes up hell itself. Al's undead body is composed of 400 pounds of it.
He can wield it like an energy blaster empowered by the sins of others. Spawn can absorb your evil and feed off of it. By simply walking on Earth, Spawn feels all of humanity's pain all at once.
He's even absorbed the sins of 8 million New Yorkers instantly, cleansing them of their evil.
Like Jesus?
Or he can do the reverse and make you experience the full weight of your own sins, feeling every bit of pain you've ever inflicted on others over your whole life.
Like some sort of penance.
Though Spawn's necroplasm comes with a catch.
Yeah, he's got a limited amount of the stuff, and it drains every time he uses his powers. If he runs out, he's dragged back to hell.
Even depowered, Spawn can rely on his elite military training in hand-to-hand combat. He's even fought Batman to a standstill.
I love
And
that
as
comic when he
befits
met
his
Batman.
past
Actually, it was a
profession,
few
he
comics I
loves
remember
his
correctly.
kick-ass 90s
Yeah.
guns.
Though his greatest
I
weapon
like
is
those.
the sentient being he's genetically and spiritually bonded to, his cloak. Letha of the 7th House of K.
You ever wonder why his cape's red? Nope, well, now you are, and it's red because it's made from the apple Eve ate in the Garden of Eden. It's literally made of original sin. Oh, and also the souls of a million sinners, including every one of Hell's victims. Also a touch of vampire for good measure.
K7 Letha is constantly evolving. It can act independently to defend Spawn with an infinite stream of chains, transform into weapons, or drain people of their power. It is the most potent weapon Hell has ever created.
It even helped Spawn beat the primordial dark god Urizen, who can destroy and eat your soul with just a glare.
Except the souls bonded to Spawn acted as a buffer, allowing him to survive.
You'd think with an arsenal like that, he'd be unstoppable. But Hellspawns have a weakness to holy weapons.
It's something to see all that CGI from the old Spawn movie.
Though Spawn has
How
managed to
wacky it
survive
looks.
this in the past. No,
Still a good
Spawn's
movie,
greatest
but
weakness is his own
definitely
how do I put
outdated.
this? Stupidity.
So Spawn fought this angel lady, Angela. Great name for an angel. She had this dimensional lance that could wipe Hellspawn out of existence, and Spawn got it. But instead of, being cautious around a mysterious angel weapon that hurts him, he just had to push the big shiny button and activate it on himself.
And so, Spawn was forever destroyed until he reconfigured reality to undo his own inexistence.
Of course.
There we are, good as
Comics
new.
is never gonna
That
really
has
let
to
them
be
just
the
stay
first
dead.
time we've seen someone accidentally kill themselves and survive.
On his quest as Hell's greatest warrior, Spawn has defeated a serial killer ice cream man, a demonic clown, and even his old boss remade by Heaven into an anti-Spawn. He's even encountered other Hellspawn.
Killing
I don't remember
bad
that.
guys might seem counterintuitive if you work for a Hell Lord, but it actually just adds more souls to Malvosia's army. An army spawned.
Look at this
to lead in a
CGI.
war with Heaven
I mean,
that
back in the
killed
day, that
all
looked
humanity.
really
Because
good.
the reason Malvolgia chose Al to be his commander
What was that?
wasn't he was some
94?
great
This came
warrior.
out 90
It was
something.
because Al had proven that he was the best at taking orders.
All his life and all his death, Al was nothing more than a hired gun.
But he knew it, and he would do so no more.
So Spawn marched down to Hell and ripped Malvosia's head off with a scream so loud it echoed through all of reality. Spawn became the king of the 8th circle of Hell.
As King, Spawn is literally a part of Hell itself, gaining access to an unlimited pool of energy that increases 100-fold with every heartbeat. He's effectively omnipotent in there, and strong enough to challenge other Hell Lords like Mammon and Satan.
He got so strong, the only thing left was to finally resolve the war between
Okay.
Heaven and Hell.
But Spawn needed help from the being who created
Wait,
this
this is what I was
god and
talking
Satan
about, I
to
believe.
begin with. The mother of existence, Gaia.
She wasn't cool with her kids being total assholes, so she appointed Spawn to be the universe's savior.
By eating the fruit from the tree of life, Spawn became truly divine.
That's what I
capable
was
of
talking
battling
about.
God and Satan in a stalemate for eternity that extinguished all life on Earth.
And each of them are powerful enough to create and control infinitely sized universes.
Spawn broke the stalemate by letting God and Satan destroy him, only for Gaia to separate the two from the reality they threatened.
Then, just like that time with the Lance, Spawn respawned and recreated the Earth. Poof, good as new.
Finally freed of the weight of heaven and hell, Al asked to be reborn as a human. But he knew in his heart he deserved to carry on his undead penance in perpetuity.
He's a creature of the 90s, Wiz. He won't be happy unless he can instantly brood over the injustice of his own existence.
Though if you threaten the alley he calls home, beware, because Spawn will turn whatever's left of your life into a living hell. All
Let's
right,
see.
the combatants are set. And we
Oh
run
my
the
goodness,
day
they did not
through
just
all
show the
possibilities.
Fortnite dance.
It's time for one hell of
With
a
Ghost
death
Rider.
battle!
Nights like these drive men insane. Brimstone in the air. Something's coming. If it wants a piece of me, there'll be hell to pay.
Liking the voice acting and the animation.
Go back to the pit you squirmed from, Hellspawn.
Make me.
Dang. I'm not blazing.
If you care, it's nothing personal.
That's cool.
Vengeance calls.
Just stand on the side of the building like a ball.
Sloppy, you fight like a bum.
You've earned your damnation.
Uh-oh. pretty sure Ghost Rider knows what that is. That's cool. I like that.
Be damned. Yes, you will.
The voice acting is really good. Uh-oh. Okay, let's see how Ghost Rider fares against this.
The holy cannot disguise your wickedness. God forbid.
Uh-oh. Dang!
Al Simmons, your sins are innumerable. I am here to wreak vengeance upon your soul.
Let's see if this works.
I eat sin for breakfast. Have a taste of your own goddamn medicine.
Wow.
Lies. He's the Prince of Lies. Wait, I'm an innocent.
Dang. He literally. Wow. I didn't think it was going to work. I didn't know the bro was going to reverse it on him. Dang. Man, just have him burn
Like
down
you
there.
said, nothing personal, asshole.
This brother reversed the attack on him. I did not expect that. I didn't think it was going to work. That's why I was just to see what's going to happen, but I didn't know he was going to reverse it.
Let's break this down into 4 categories.
First up, power. Divine Spawn could match God and Satan, who could create universes. Similar in scale to Ghost Rider's bouts with a lot of the powerhouses in Marvel.
But Zarathos was different. Remember, his power can match that of Mephisto and Galactus, who can threaten all of Marvel's infinite cosmic reality, far greater than any cosmos Spawn has ever affected. Even though Spawn's battled and defeated Satan in more recent comics, implying he's retained a level of power similar to his divine form, he couldn't match Zarathos in power alone.
Ghost Rider may take power, but remember, Johnny actively resists Zarathos' influence, so Spawn may have had time in the fight to learn and adapt to Ghost Rider before he went full Blue Fury.
And Spawn definitely had the edge in skill. He spent decades in military combat and is a master martial artist, whereas Johnny more so relies on his invincibility.
The ultimate dream power for a stuntman. Even with his crazy powers, Ghost Rider was a lot more direct than Spawn, pretty much entirely focused on attacking the soul.
Which doesn't bode well for his versatility. Spawn can stop time, manipulate matter, turn intangible, control minds, warp reality. The Ghost Rider had a much more limited arsenal by comparison. Spawn had a huge advantage in this category.
Though with his invincibility, way greater power, and the ability to scorch your soul to nothing, Ghost Rider could score the win through brute force, right?
Not exactly. The last piece of the puzzle is their resistances. Basically, who was harder to kill. Spawn's constant mainlining of humanity's collective sin and pain meant he could survive attacks on his soul, including the penance stare.
Good
Just
point.
like he resisted a very similar attack from Urizen.
Best of all, remember the time he rewrote reality to undo his own inexistence?
There was nothing the Ghost Rider could do to overpower that. And that time with the lance wasn't planned, it was purely instinctual. He could replicate it any time he wanted, like in his fight with God and Satan.
So how do you put Spawn down for good? Well, you can't. At least Johnny and Zarathos couldn't.
Unlike how Ghost Rider's soul has been vulnerable to attack before, like when Danny used the penance stare to depower Johnny.
This sort of thing actually happens a lot, even in recent comics. The whole reason Johnny and Zarathos are bonded in the first place is because Zarathos' soul was manipulated by Mephisto.
And not only does Spawn have plenty of experience manipulating souls, he can replicate the effect of the penance stare itself.
And just think about that. A penance stare on Zarathos would mean he's feeling the pain from every penance stare that he's ever done. A penance squared.
The Damnation Stare, on the other hand, actively helped Spawn, sending him to hell where he gets a literal infinite power boost.
And it wasn't just Spawn's soul powers that had spelled trouble. He had other ways to bypass Ghost Rider's immortality too, like transmutation, rewriting reality, or just straight up stealing his powers, which has worked on multiple Ghost Riders in the past.
Giving Spawn the final edge. Zarathos was almost unbeatable, a massive power advantage, soul destruction, immortality, but Spawn could counter everything thrown at him, and was too unkillable for Zarathos' strength advantage to matter in the long run against his crazier abilities.
That was one hell of a fight, and at least Johnny went out in a blaze of glory.
The winner is Spawn.
Next
All right.
time on Death
Oh wait,
Battle.
next time who? Who's gonna be?
Subscribe.
I don't really know them, but anyway, I got a better idea. How about they work together? Yo, that would be. I love the Spawn and Batman comic, but I think Ghost Rider and Spawn would be a whole lot better. And not even a comic. Let's get an animation TV show of, well, not a TV show, like a quick 80-minute movie for something like Netflix or something like that. That would be sick. But that was cool. That was cool. I enjoyed that a lot. The animation, the battle, the choreography, the voice acting for Spawn was really good. I was really interested in seeing how that stare was going to do against him. And I thought if he was just going to be immune to it, like, wasn't going to mess with him. I didn't know the brother was going to reverse it on him. That was pretty sick. So Spawn does win. I ain't gonna front. It is cool to see Ghost Rider not win with the stare and let it actually be his breaking point. Is what makes him lose, because we know usually when it comes to Ghost Rider, he usually wins with the stare. So to have it used on him this time, I thought that was pretty cool. But anyway, let me know in the comment section what you think about it. And yeah, I'll check y'all later. See ya.